सो हे गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू वन मोर वीडियो। और अब इस वीडियो से सीरीज से हम बात करने वाले हैं सबसे पहले डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम के बारे में। तो इस वीडियो सीरीज में हम पूरे डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम के बारे में बात कर रहे होंगे। बेसिक से लेके एडवांस तक जाएंगे। ईआर मॉडल, टायर 1, टायर 2, टायर 3 जो डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं उसके बारे में बात करेंगे। तो ये पहली वीडियो है तो हम इसके ऊपर बात करते हैं। मेरा नाम हर्षवर्धन है, तो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब इस चैनल को कर लीजिएगा। यहाँ आपको ऑसम कंटेंट मिलेगा रिलेटेड टू आईटी फील्ड एंड एक्सेट्रा। तो सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम एक्चुअली में होता क्या है। तो अगर हम इसको तोड़ते हैं यार, तो डेटा और बेस, यानी जहाँ पर डेटा, अगर अपने गेम की बात करें, ठीक है, तो गेम में यार बेस क्या होता है तुम्हारे हिसाब से? अगर मैं तुमसे पूछूं कि बेस क्या होता है, तो बेस तुम्हारे हिसाब से वो जगह होगा जहाँ पर कुछ चीज़ें पड़ी हो, एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया। ठीक है, अगर हम आर्मी का कोई गेम खेल रहे हैं, सपोज किसी ने IGI खेला हुआ है, ठीक है, या तुमने कभी PUBG खेला हुआ होगा, तो उसमें बेस मतलब क्या होता है? एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया जहाँ पर कोई चीज़ पड़ी हो। वैसे ही डेटा बेस यानी डेटा का बेस, यानी कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा, उसका बेस, यानी जहाँ पर मेरा सारा डेटा पड़ा हुआ है वो बेस। उस पर्टिकुलर जगह जहाँ पर मेरा डेटा पड़ा हुआ है, इसका करना मैनेजमेंट बाय यूजिंग अ पर्टिकुलर सिस्टम इज कॉल्ड डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम। अगर हम बात करें यार डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम की, तो इसकी रिक्वायरमेंट कैसे आई? अगर हम बेस्ट एग्जांपल लेते हैं तो ये होता है आपका फ़ोन। ठीक है, अब इस फ़ोन में कितनी चीज़ें होगी? ठीक है, कितनी चीज़ें होगी? आपका मोबाइल नंबर होगा, ठीक है, लोगों के कॉन्टैक्ट डिटेल्स, कॉन्टैक्ट व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर सारी डिटेल्स होगी। यही नहीं, व्हेन यू विल go much into deeper, you will have some social media accounts which are related to like Facebook. You have the social media accounts like Instagram. You have the social media accounts related to Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. So how you will manage all of these? Okay, so the better thing is to use some sort of database management system. So in this particular lecture or in this particular series or the group of series, what we're going to explore, we're going to explore database management system in much more detail and in a great way as possible, in a fun way as possible, so that you understand it in a better way. Okay, so from where we're going to start? We're going to start from data. What is data? So when it comes to data, so data is the collection of raw bytes. What it means, like suppose if we take an example of an image, what is image according to you? If we break the image, so image can be break into the pixels, if I'm not wrong. Okay, and that each pixel is having some sort of value related to its color or tone. So that value is actually what it is, what it represents. It represents a numerical value. Okay, so any data, every data can be represented in a numerical value. Okay, but there is a catch here. Okay, there is a catch. So when it comes to data, so data is nothing. Data, if we take an example like suppose there is a library. Okay, there is a library and there are many books are placed over here. Some books are related to the physics, some books are related to the chemistry, and some books are related to mathematics. Now this is the data. So data is represented as a raw facts or figures. Okay, in a very layman definition if I say, so it is like this. But my useful data becomes my information. Okay, so there is a library which contain books related to physics, chemistry, mathematics, but I require physics. So according to me, that all three subjects or the books related to these three subjects are becoming my data, and that one per subject like physics, which is my keen interest or which I'm just focusing on, will become my information eventually. Okay, so data is nothing but the collection of raw facts and figures, or the collection of bytes. If we move further, so data is a collection of raw unorganized facts and details like text, observation, figures, symbols, and description of things. So when we break it one by one, if you want to understand it in a detail, so data is nothing but it's a collection of a raw. First of all, understand it is a raw. It's not nurtured. It's not we have got because some sort of operation by performing on it. It's a raw. डेटा क्या है? ये एक बहुत ज़्यादा रॉ चीज़ है। हमने इसके ऊपर अभी कुछ भी परफॉर्म नहीं किया है। रॉ मतलब ऐसे ही यहाँ पर पड़ा हुआ है ये डेटा, ठीक है, कुछ भी है मतलब रॉ है अभी, यानी एकदम अपने बेस फॉर्म में है। ठीक है, तो डेटा इज द कलेक्शन ऑफ रॉ अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड facts and details like text, observations, फिगर्स, सिंबल्स एंड डिस्क्रिप्शंस। ऐसे इन्होंने एग्जाम्पल लिया है कि डेटा जो होता है वो क्या होता है, एक रॉ अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड फैक्ट्स होते हैं, ठीक है, और डिटेल्स होते हैं। अब इसके अंदर क्या चीज़ें हो सकती है, आपका टेक्स्ट हो सकता है, ठीक है, आपकी ऑब्जर्वेशंस हो सकती है, आपकी फिगर्स हो सकते हैं, यू हैव सिंबल्स एंड मोर ओवर यू हैव योर डिस्क्रिप्शन इवन इट। ओके, सो ये जो पूरा खेल है ये क्या है, डेटा है। हर चीज जो आपके आसपास है वो डेटा है, बट उसके अंदर का जो यूजफुल कंटेंट है इट बिकम्स योर इन्फॉर्मेशन इवेंचुअली। दैट्स व्हाट आई एम जस्ट फोकसिंग ऑन। ओके, तो अब यहाँ पर हमने कुछ यहाँ पर चीज़ के बारे में बताया, डेटा के बारे में कुछ फैक्ट्स और चीज़ें हमने इंक्लूड करी है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, डेटा डज नॉट कैरी स्पेसिफिक पर्पसेस। डेटा का कोई स्पेसिफिक पर्पस नहीं होता। डेटा हैज़ नो सिग्निफिकेंस बाय इटसेल्फ, उसकी खुद की कोई सिग्निफिकेंस नहीं होती। It is measured in the terms of bits and bytes. It's a very important stuff. It's a very important. Okay. So data is always measured in the terms of bits and bytes, which are the basic units of information in context of computer storage and processing. So why we have just broken it into bits and bytes? Because eventually any sort of thing will break into this. As you know that computer, it's a dumb machine. Why I am saying it dumb machine? Because it can understand it only in 0 and 1 form. That's clear thing. If we're going to pass any sort of image also, or any sort of text, or any sort of audio, it will eventually break it into the bits or bytes, and that gonna be passed to the computer, and then computer will also return the answer in the form of 0 and 1. That also again gonna computed into the human language, or any sort of you can say some sort of high level language which you can also understand. Okay, human readable language. So what is gonna happening here, what scenario is going on here? The scenario which is going on here is like we are gonna break any sort of information in the form of bits and bytes. So when we are breaking it in the form of bits and byte, you are understanding one thing. What you are understanding here? You are understanding here is that data is measured in the terms of bits and bytes, because we are gonna coming to the base form again and again to understand the basics of data, what data is actually. So when we are gonna define it, we can define it in this way, like data is a raw facts or figures which are unorganized, first of all, and second, they are measured in the terms of bits and bytes. There are 2 points of interest here. When you're going to define data, there are 2 points of interest. First, what is data? It's a raw facts and figures which has no significance in itself. It is unorganized. And the second point is it is measured in the terms of bits and bytes. That's very much computably or humanly also understandable, because what we want to say, like any sort of computer kind of information, any sort of computer thing actually eventually breaks into the form of bits and bytes. So that's particular thing. I think you got understood of it. Now let's say what we want to discuss next. So data can be recorded and does not have any meaning unless provided. Okay. तो डेटा को क्या किया जा सकता है, रिकॉर्डेड किया जा सकता है. डेटा कैन बी रिकॉर्डेड एंड डज नॉट हैव एनी मीनिंग अनलेस प्रोवाइडेड. Unless we do not provide any sort of meaning to it, it doesn't have any meaning. Okay, or it is a very rough word I just want to convey. Like let's take an example of a small student, okay, of first class, okay, of first class. Suppose, okay, not first class, a very small children of 4 year to 3 year, he doesn't know anything, he's just new to this world. So I just given him this water bottle, I just given him this mobile phone, and I'm just given him this earbuds. Okay, now I just given him. Now these three are also the three of these things are data for him, because it is a raw form of information which is presented to him. But suppose he want to drink water, okay, and he knows that the bottle can actually provide or complete its needs. So that whatever becomes his information. That's I am just focusing on. Okay, that's very much clear. So again, and try to understand this. What I am just trying to say, like data can be recorded, and it doesn't have any meaning unless we provide. If I will not provide the meaning like this, that this bottle will give you the water, then that data is useless. It doesn't carry any sort of importance here. Okay, so that's actually how we look at as when it comes to data. Okay, so it's very easy, and I think you also understood it. Now it comes to types of data. Okay, so there are two types of data. There is first kind of data which is qualitative data, and second is quantitative data. And as its name suggests, when we talk about qualitative, so we are not focusing on the quantity, okay, or a numerical sort of thing. We are talking about the description logic or description things. Okay, so here also I just written the same thing. Like when we come to qualitative, we are much focusing on descriptive. Like suppose we take an example of a description data, like what we can just do, we can take the image data. We can take image sort of data, or to be more precise, it's not to be more precise, long descriptive text or the text data. To be more precise, suppose we take an example of ChatGPT. So in ChatGPT, you eventually pass the data like text data. We are not passing any sort of numerical data to it. We are just passing it to the text data or image data. Okay. Right now, ChatGPT 4.0 is also supported the image data. So we are passing it text or image data, but it's not a numerical data. So this is gonna lie in the category of a qualitative data. But when we talk about the quantitative data, so we focus more on the numerical aspect of it rather than the qualitative aspect. So when we talk about the numerical aspect, so the data which belongs to this category can be the data which we use for a model of linear regression, because here we work for the numerical data. Okay, so for the beginners who don't know these sort of complicated terms, so I can make a brief introduction to the linear regression. Like it's nothing but it's a dependency of x on y. Or suppose I say, like for what I can say, like for 50 feet of height, you will require 20 paint buckets. So it's a relation between the height and the paint buckets. Okay, so when we talk about this kind of a things where the numerical data is in use, so that kind of data is quantitative. Okay, now it comes to information. Now it's a very easy and it's a very great stuff to be discussed. Like information is the process data. That's a very important and significant thing to be focused on, as we are just saying again and again that data is not the organized one. It's an unorganized, it's a raw facts and figures, but information is the process data, it's the organized data and the structured data. Okay, information provide the context of the data and enables decision making, because the data is raw but information is not raw, it is processed one. It is actually the subject of importance. Okay, so the process data that makes sense to us, actually, like in our example case of a children, that water in the water bottle makes sense. Okay, next thing to be discussed is information is extracted from the data. That's a correct thing. Okay, data, again we all know the what kind of things which we have discussed also. It is insufficient for decision making, does not depend on information, typically presented through words, thoughts and idea. It's a raw and unorganized, again individual and sometimes related. So remember one thing only, there's a difference between both of them, but remember one thing only, that the data, after going through a long range of processes or matter of interest, becomes information. Got my point? Remember this thing. That's a very important thing. Okay. Now information. Put these facts into context. It's unorganized. It's mapped out the data to be provided in a big picture view of how it all fits together depends on data, insufficient for decision making. Sufficient for decision making. Actually, it will be sufficient because it is processed one, right? It's not an unprocessed. When you talk about the unprocessed, the chances of noises will increase. What are the noises? Noises are the problematic situations or the problematic things which are present in your data. You can say it like this way, that there is some sort of content which is actually ruining your entire data. Suppose an example of noises. Suppose you have a data of school students. Okay, so suppose the first noise can be repetitive data. Suppose you have a single person written 10 times. By mistaken, the data administrator entered 10 records of college data. Okay, third kind of noise will be date of birth of first section is wrong. So these kind of noises will happen in a data. Okay, so that actually makes it insufficient for decision making. But when we come to information, it is processed one. So the chances of decision making will increase. So it will be sufficient for the decision making. So I think you got understand or now you have a sufficient knowledge to understand it. Now let's come to database. What is database? So database is now we have just first understood the term what is data actually. Now we are coming on what is database. So database is nothing but it's a system where data is stored in a way that it can be easily managed, accessed and updated. Okay. Now you can understand in a trick. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you can understand in a story. Like database is nothing but it's a place where data is stored in a way that it can be MAU. MAU. That's a term, right? It's a very interesting term to be discussed. But let's see how we can just deal with it. So database is nothing but it's an electronic place or a system where data is stored. What we are just doing? We have created one sort of army base. In the army base, the army weapons and army tools and tricks will be kept it down. There will be a confidential army files, there can be confidential army vehicles and weapons and ammunition and etc. Similarly, when we talk about the database, so it is a place where data is actually kept and it's kept in such a way that you can do MAU. MAU, what it stands? It stands for managed, accessed and updated. Got my point? So database is nothing but it's a system or it's a place where your data is stored and it is stored in a way that it can be easily accessed, managed and updated as well. To make use of real data, we need a database management system. Actually, like there can be databases of different kinds of data. Suppose when you talk about ChatGPT, you have a database of text data, right? It works on a database of text data. But when you talk about DALL-E is another product of OpenAI which works on images. So it have a different database of images. When you talk about WhatsApp, so WhatsApp eventually also has some sort of database to store the data. But the database, how you will do that sort of operation of accessing it, managing it end to end to update it. How you will do the management, access and updation. So for this, you will require a system for it. Like you have a data, you have the database where you have kept your data, but the operations is you are performing on it. How you will perform it? You will require some sort of system to manage it. And that system is nothing but database management system. Like let's take it as a story again, right? You have that data first and the multiple data are stored in a base, and in that base you can do management, access and updation. Now you are doing this kind of things. Okay, so how you will just do it? How you will do these three operations? You will require some sort of tools, you will require some sort of things to do it for ease. So for this thing you will require a system, and that system is nothing but your database management system actually, which we call it as a DBMS. Okay, so it's a nothing but it's a collection of interrelated data and a lot of sets and program to access those data. So what it contains two things. The first thing which it contains is the collection of interrelated data. There is a hell lot of interrelated data which is there. And second is the set of programs to access this. How you will access that data. Okay, so what it contains the data. Let me change the pen, actually you will not be getting it visible. So there is data, and this data can be interrelated to each other. There is a high possibility that it can be interrelated to each other, but it also contains the programs. Now what that program actually do? That program actually tries to access that data and do the manipulations. Okay, and that complete scenario of execution comes under DBMS. Got my point again? So what is going on here? So it stands for Database Management System. Now, what the hell sort of things it contains? First thing it contains a set of interrelated data which is interrelated to each other, and it also contains the programs. Now what that programs actually do? They programs try to contact with that data, and or you can say that programs helps them to actually access that data and do that manipulations on it. We actually want to try to do the manipulations on that data, and we can do it here. Okay, so it's a collection of interrelated data, first point, and a set of programs which will actually help to access that data and do the manipulations on it. And these manipulations can be the updation, insertion, deletion, can be any sort of thing. So our actually motive is to do the operations on the data, and we can easily do it. Okay, so we have just done it. Congrats. Okay, now the collection of data is database. We have also done it, right? What's the goal of database management system? So the goal of database management system is to provide the way to store and retrieve database information that is both convenient and efficient. We have already just seen it by using it. Okay, let's take an example of a case study. Like, let's take an example of Google Cloud. Okay, so in Google Cloud, let's take an example you have just created. So in this video also, I will just try to take you to the long journey where you can also understand it. Okay, in a better way. Okay, you can understand it in a case study. Now it's time for a case study so that you can understand it. Suppose, for example, you have Google Cloud here. Okay, you have a Google Cloud here, and what's the actual purpose of it? What Google Cloud do actually? So suppose I have one application whose name is Dhando. Now in this application, okay, I have registrations. I want to onboard the users and then do the authentication of it. Got my point? Got my point? And I just also want to create one dashboard where I can see the registered users, and also I will give this one feature to my users, and according to that feature what will happen, user can edit their information. Okay, so in Google technologies, okay, there is one point, you can understand it in a way that there is one tool, or you can say you have heard of a Firebase actually. Okay, you heard of a Firebase. So what I will do, by using Google Cloud authentication tool, I will just do the registration of the student and login, and that information will be stored in the Firebase. So Firebase is nothing but it's a database management system kind of a thing. You can understand it in a way. So on Firebase, you will store the data users or the credentials of the user, so that you can have the records of the user. Suppose at the time of registration, I am asking the user for its image, for its name, for its username, for its password, and I am also giving it the information to log in with Google. Because of that, I am just using that cloud. Okay, so now your data is actually stored in the registered user, and you can also see in the dashboard. So how the things are coming to the dashboards? It is coming by using that Google API. Okay, we will just see it in further what API means actually. So by using that API, the records are coming into the registered user panel here. Okay, got my point actually? Okay, now this is the basic concept of database. I think you understand what is database. Till now the story or the point on which we are right now is the concept of what database actually is. Okay, now let's come to the next point. Till now we have understood the database, like we are storing the registration or the user credentials to our database, which is Firebase. So it's actually database. Now when we want to edit the information which is present in the database, like suppose there is an X user and this user wants to update its information or it's want to change the profile. He says that change my profile. Now what he will do? He will just suppose the UI looks like this. The UI looks like this and there is a small edit button here. He will just click on it. He will just choose its new picture and he will click on OK. And profile picture will be changed. Now what actually operation has happened here? We have just updated the information. And how we have updated it? When user actually given his new picture, through API we updated the information in our Firebase system, and through API again that information also fetched to the database or the dashboard. Like this the management system works. So how we are accessing it, we are updating it, and that's all sort of operations we have done with our Dhandho app here is a perfect example of a database management system, which you have also understood it. And I can also change the information from the back end. This is also database management system because we are also changing the information in the database eventually. So it's a perfect case study for till now what you have learned. Okay, so like this we have just completed this thing. Okay, so now let's quickly cover what are the advantages of DBMS, because we have seen this thing right through the case study. What is API? API is nothing but the application programming interface. Okay, what are the advantages of DBMS? The first example is data redundancy and inconsistency. It solves the problem of this thing. Solves the problem. Data redundancy and inconsistency problem. It actually solves. Difficulty in accessing data is also solved in this. Data isolation is also provided. Why it is important actually data isolation? Take 5 minutes or take 1 minute and think. Pause the video and think why data isolation is actually important to you. Why you look for the data isolation actually? Why data isolation is important? Okay, so imagine of a scenario or of a case. Okay, just imagine of a case. Suppose there is IBM database. Let's take again a case study and let's understand this thing. Why data isolation is important? Because it's an important concept to be understood. Okay, or let's take example of Salesforce. Okay, let's take example of a Salesforce. Suppose on the Salesforce cloud system, I want to keep my data of, let's take an example of Dhandho app again. Now this data contains images, users, audios, likes. It's a kind of a social media, you can understand. Credits data, and there can be hell lot of data points. Okay, now imagine of a scenario where all this data is mixed. Now if that all sort of data is mixed, if I want to retrieve the image data from my dashboard, the first thing or the first challenge it will happen is it will be slow, because there is a hell lot of thing which is provided. But when it comes to isolation, let's take an example of an isolation. Then the retrieval will be fast, first of all, and the chances of data mixing and any sort of error like this will be reduced. So that is the actual point of data isolation. Why we want data isolation? Because we don't want the data like this. Okay, suppose we talk about the login or the username and passwords. These two data are highly confidential. We cannot mix it with other sort of data. Otherwise, it can be a breach or it can be a breach. Okay, so to prevent this or to prevent this kind of faults, we require a term which is isolation. Clear? That's the thing. That's the point of understanding. Okay. Again, let's move to the next. Atomicity problems is solved. What that actually again means? Let's understand what atomicity also means. Okay. So now let's take an example of an app. Paytm karo. Okay. If anyone wants to do Paytm, you can do it. Just secretly. Okay. Now on the Paytm, there are 4 users. Okay. Let's take example of a 2 user because 4 will be a bit complicated and you will also take time to understand. Let's take example of a 2 users. This person sends 500 rupees to him via Paytm. Okay. Okay, so he is sending 500 rupees to him. Now, in between, let's understand any problem occurs, internet problem occurs and their authentication breaks. Now, 500 rupees is gone. Now what will happen? So because of atomicity, they will again credit back here. The 500 doesn't reach here, it's in between. Because of authentication it's just gone, but it will again come to here. This is the problem of atomicity. This is the atomicity actually, how it solves also. What my point? That's the thing. Okay, that's the thing which we use in day-to-day life. Okay, so in that, database management system has a very point of role. Okay, and very great point of role. Security problems can be solved easily because in the management system you also have certain tools which will require, which can solve your problems like authentications, verifications. Okay, in many cases you also use KYC also. Okay, so there are many sort of authentications, there are many lists possible which you can use. Okay, like this. So in the next video, now we're going to discuss about the view of data. So I think you have understood this first video and you take a good enjoyment of it. I will see you in the next video when we're going to discuss the view of data. So it's going to be an important and in a very interesting sort of stuff to be discussed. So let's meet in the next video, and till then, this is Harshvardhan. Like, share, subscribe this video because we're going to discuss any sort of problem with the case studies and we're going to provide you the best course as possible on this earth. Thank you so much. It's Harshvardhan. It's day 1. Signing.